Yo, how's everybody doing? This is Mr. Anderson, True Crypto 28 on Twitter. I wanted to bring you a video today, something I've spoken about in the past, but since we're pretty close to it occurring, I figured I'd bring it up again. And it's something unique that has occurred with Bitcoin every single time it has reached a reading of 85 or better on RSI daily, meaning a daily close above 85. And two things happen. One, we've never put in a top following a reclaim of the 85 level. Also, we've never put in less than 3 drives above 85. So for just a real simple, basic understanding of that. So here we are, we broke 85. I've marked 85 off on this screen here. We broke 85 there at this point. We had a reset in RSI. Really, these probably should count anyway. They're in the 84 range, but still, even without counting anything but exactly 85 plus, we had 1, 2, 3 drives above that level, and then still divergence taking you higher in many of these cases. Even back here, this is one that I've actually tweeted about that I have that I can show you as well. The last 2 times this occurred, I actually pointed this out, which was part of this particular run. I pointed this out where we went from 8,000. I set a target of 69,000, was fortunate enough to hit it. And same thing here. Back in this day, we were in the 4,000 range when we spoke about it, and I put a target of 13,800, and again, fortunate to hit it, but we hit that target dead on that particular one as well. Regardless, the key is that everyone has sparked a mini parabolic run, at least some sparked major runs. Now, being that we're in the context of the bear market, if this does occur and we are going to see history repeat itself, then I would expect a mini parabolic run where you say, all right, well, we go mini of some sort, and that's going to allow you to get more of a high time frame look that is a little flatter, meaning right now we're certainly in a bearish look even on the high time frames, and that's sort of the way you balance the chart if that were to occur. Still then allowing for high time frame tests. Maybe you have 6 months, 9 months of testing down the road before Bitcoin ultimately makes whatever kind of run it's going to make, if it's going to continue to do what it's always done. But regardless, that's not the point of this video. The point is specifically to focus on these particular events and how they've occurred. So I want to show them to you. I will also show you that tweet. I don't know which one I have up, if I may have the first one or the second. Let's see. Regardless, this is an example of it here. It's the same tweet I'm going to put out again. Same thing. There's never been an immediate top put in off of an 85 plus close, nor has it ever had less than 3 drives. We put that in over here, and I believe this is the one that went to 69,000. That's correct. And there's another tweet, which I'm not going to bring up, which I gave that target as well of 69,000 when we were at 8,000. Then back here, the same thing. I did a tweet over here, and that's, excuse me, it was this one right here, and this was in the context of the bear market. Which is probably closer to the situation we're in here, and that made its way up to 13,800 all the way down from 3,100. So it was a hell of a run. But still, you know, we've seen very tight formations where it gained another 60% after claiming that area, etc. So there's a lot of examples there in reference to that. So let me go and just roll over them, and we can get rid of this video. I just want to give you a little proof of what I'm stating. We'll go back in time, so we'll have to roll around on our chart, obviously, to make it visible. I've already marked off the particular areas. You have this 85 level that's also marked off so that there is no discrepancy. You'll be able to see if I'm making things up or not, which obviously I'm not. And as I zoom in, I knew this part would be difficult. We'll go ahead and show you the first one. All right. So didn't quite make it here, but either way, it's in the context of an uptrend here. This is one of these long testing areas, even though we're talking about early days of Bitcoin. But regardless, we're going back to micro levels, right? Maybe people won't even count this on their chart because of how small the industry was. I have no problem with that, but I can't say always unless I mean always. So I'm going to show you every single time it occurred very quickly. Here we go. First close above 85. That happens right here. You can bring this up. And from that point, from the point that it occurred, it still ran another 150%, really a little bit more, call it about 190%, 150, 190, who cares? But the point is that you had some level of a reset, another drive above 85, some level of a reset, another drive above 85. Always 3, if not more. Sometimes you get a full reset out of that, etc. Let's move forward to the next example. Bitcoin's trying to grow up. This one is just a rampant. Now, a lot of times you'll see this where you first go context of a bear market into context of a bull market. And obviously the bull market ones are insane in terms of the runs, where this one went from about $16 to what, $260-ish back then. Regardless, I think we had 8 crosses. That means we gained it, we lost it, we gained it, we lost it. It happened 8 times. That is an epic run. That worked out quite well. Go back over here. I didn't utilize this. I could have. This would have still been a good example of one that came in, then had a nice testing period on a full reset, and then grabbed it again. But since it didn't officially hit 85 by this particular chart, I don't want to count it. I want to be very, very specific with you guys and kind of show you where we're at here. And ultimately on this particular one, let's just mark it off from the day that it happened, which is right there. So we're not fudging the numbers. We crossed it here, a little bit of a reset, buy the dip type of thing, went for it. And then the fourth one's over there. I've spread out the chart. That's why they're not lining up. But this one is what, 500%, right? Which is obviously incredible and insane. I'm not expecting 500%, but I would not be shocked by anything I've been saying for a long time, as I've been talking to people about accumulation patterns and things of that nature, that if we are going to have some type of bear market type rally, I think it'll be much more extreme than people realize, and I've been open about that for quite a while. Okay, so here we go again. Go into this context here, which is number 1. Now look, this is a good one because you get a couple crosses into the level, resets, but look, higher lows, higher lows. This is uptrend, right? So you're in the context of an uptrend. You're still building a cost in a reaccumulation period right here, and then you get a third, fourth, fifth within the uptrend. You're talking about 130% within that time frame right there. Now, some of these, you can consider the whole thing of uptrend, and maybe it's not 3, maybe you consider it 15 drives, but still, even within the localized period, you'll see there's always at least 3 drives. Same thing occurs right here. More miniature one, quicker, right? It happened faster, etc., which is fine. But still, even that, you're talking about an additional 30-something% in a very quick time frame, and that was only part of this. In reality, you would connect this as well because context matters, and context is what? Higher low, higher low, higher low. So it just remained in an uptrend. In all honesty, the more realistic view of this is to extend this and look at this as all one particular gain coming off of this particular signal. But regardless, I restarted them anyway, just in case. These are full resets. We never went into bear mode. There was no bear PA or anything along those lines. It was just testing and building a reaccumulation pattern. And then finally, you went into it again. Some of these numbers might be off very slightly just because I'm not pulling this measurement up too tight on the top side or the low side, but you kind of get the point. This one's 1200%. And the idea is what? Again, one drive. Once the one drive hits, what happens? Fall back, find reasons to buy the dip. People tend to buy the dip. And what's the reason for it? Well, for RSI to get above 85 on a daily scale, it's usually a pretty good sign that for some reason there was a significant absence of supply, right? And ultimately, those are signals, right? Those are signals for people to kind of see that, okay, something else has happened, something has changed. So that's been historically what has occurred. I'll continue to show you. This one, obviously, one of the most ridiculous ones ever. We all know that, 1,600 to about 20,000. That's a bull market context, obviously, but regardless, I do want to give this one, which is the bear market context that we spoke about before. We had the first drive right about there, and this one's interesting, right? Because a lot of this is, we are below the 200 EMA on the daily scale. That's an interesting level that we certainly need to claim. So one of the things I would tell people about this is that it doesn't mean just buy and 100x and hold it. There could certainly be some drawdowns, some pullbacks, etc., especially in the context of the bear market. And we do need to reclaim this level and start to build causes above the 200-day exponential moving average, or SMA, whatever you want to use. But regardless, you want to reclaim that level and show that you have willing buyers above that level, because until we get back to the level, it's very understandable to see it as a mean reversion on the higher time frame, and certainly you're still open to dump until you get out of the bear market. So those things can happen. But regardless, in the context of this, remember, after this mega move, we considered this, we were jumping around, celebrating. I was getting on the phone with all other traders. We were talking. We did it, man. We made it. We survived the market, etc. At this point, well, from that point on, it still went another 178%. That was after the mega $1,000 candle that we got, which was big stuff back then, right? So that was a huge, significant move. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crosses of the 85 level. There's always at least 3 historically, okay? Go back again. Now we're in the context of the bull market once again. This is the one where I know I put out at 8,000 that I had a target of 69,000. I was told that I was a bulltard. That's okay. We ended up getting there, which was great. And this is 1, 2, 3. And then this move is so bullish that you end up going into a divergent highs. So momentum high, divergent high, divergent high, divergent high, and made its way all the way up eventually to that 69,000 level. And now we're back to this point right here where we're not there. We're not there yet. Let's see how this day closes. But if you can get there, if you can get above that level, you are putting yourself in an interesting position to where you say, well, every single time that this has occurred, and we can count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, making sure I'm not double counting any, 8 occurrences. So 8 is not the biggest sample size, right? It's a young asset, but 8 for 8. 8 for 8, where all 8 times you put yourself in a position to where you had at least a mini parabolic run, even in the context of a bear market. All 8 times where no top was put in locally. Obviously, you could have a localized top for a certain time period, but meaning no major tops, what I meant to say. No major top put in anywhere near the time frame where it did reclaim the 85 level. And of course, the other element is the fact that I think did I say mini parabolic already? I believe I said that. 3 drives. So here's the 3 things. 3 drives at least above 85, mini parabolic run, no top. So those are the 3 characteristics that have happened all 8 times, 8 for 8. Will we get there? That's the first question. If we get there, will we make it 9 for 9? Time will tell. What would you want to do? Really quick, I'll end the video on this. Look, all these things mean, it doesn't mean like, hey, I'm in, this is it. And Mr. Anderson said that it's 8 for 8, so it's going to be 9 for 9. So I went all in with leverage. No. It just means that, hey, get my mind into a situation to where I say, hey, the unexpected can certainly occur. And we have seen booming type action when that's occurred. So what do I need? I need reasons to long on the lower time frame, right? I go to the lower time frames and I look for what? Exhaustion by the sellers, things of that nature. So you still want to buy in good spots, but ultimately it puts you into a position to where you're thinking, okay, if I'm holding structure, if I'm making higher lows, if I'm finding lower time frames that are getting exhausted, then I am happy to put on some risk and go from there. That's it for now. I'm out. We'll talk to you soon.